Hey, hey, hey. This is Black Swan. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever in the world you may be. Shout out to Lady La. Shout out to Squirrel Tribe. Shout out to Willie D. Sexy. Yeah, I said it. Okay. Shout out to Homestead Heart. And there's a few more that I'll probably shout out, but those are the first ones that I want to get out. Again, this is Black Swan. I hope everybody's having a great Memorial Day to all our veterans and even our listed. Thank you for your sacrifice and your service. Thank you for protecting a single mother when she was young of four little ones. You didn't have to, but you did, along with our Most High's help. May this day be a beautiful day for those who are still above ground and those celebrating those who have since passed. I'm coming to you because I just finished watching a video of our dear Willie D. And you know, Willie D, rapper, recording artist, civil rights activist, human activist, um, Houston, Texas activist, gentleman. He came up and the video is in my description below. And it was something that as soon as I saw it, I was like, I've been talking about this. And I even did a little video on it, um, I believe last week or the week before. And he was talking about how the these companies now are, yeah, I got ants, fuckers. Anyway, I digress. How these companies aren't growing meat, fish, poultry, vegetables. They're making it out of whatever they're making it out of. And I have seen a video that stated that where some of our when you see a um, commercial and it's showing this beautiful burger or beautiful vegetables, 9 times out of 10, it's not real. That's why when we try to get the same result, it doesn't the same. There you go. And but he's saying that they're making this these now food that they selling to us. Look, just a second. Look, Sky, I'm on live. Don't sit in front of the fan. It's summertime. Chill the hell out, okay? Thank you. I talk to. I have to talk to the bully pit like I'm talking to one of my children. Anyway, sit down. So they're making this food and passing it off. They melt. They put in meat or meat byproducts or something. You have to watch the video. Okay. But I have seen a video where they said that they've made stuff that looks like the real thing, cooks like the real thing, but it's not. Even tastes like the real thing, but it's not the real thing. And I've been saying, I know uh, my young children, young adult children, my baby won't say anything. He's 15. He'll wait until he's turned 18 to tell me, Mom, no, yes, they are. Um, my adult children are thinking, okay, Mom ain't, been watching too many conspiracy theories, but no, I haven't. I'm not the only one who thinks that way. And there are things that's happening in within the last 6 months. There have been so much going on in regards to our food and water supply that it cannot be ignored. So Willie D brought that to light today, and then um, Homestead Heart. I keep wanting to say Holiday Heart, but Homestead Heart brought up, if we keep doing what we're doing, they have their own homestead. They grow everything and they sell the seeds to consumers such as you and I. And Mrs. H said, if we continue to do that, grocery stores won't need we won't need the grocery stores because we're growing our own produce. We're going back to the basics. If we can learn how to make our own spaghetti, which some people can, our own bread, which some people can, that's where the bartering comes in. I've got this many bushels of vegetables. You've got bread. You have pork. You have fish. How much you want for that? That's how we're going to be able to keep eating, period. That's how we're going to be able to keep eating. And that's one of the things I spoke of. I didn't do a live on Homestead Hearts video. I did a Facebook live on said video. And, but it's something that we need to start really looking into because if you're not paying attention, every so often they'll do something drastic to distract us from something. Either distract us from a new medicine that will um, cure something, or a medicine, that they want to get off the market because they, I am not quite sure why, but they're doing any and every, they're just doing the most. Right now, the debt ceiling is the issue. So, right now, they're trying to keep us from really looking at what they're doing at the debt ceiling. We know we're broke. The government just don't want us to say nothing about it. None of us are stupid. The government wants us to be sheep. Seriously, they want us to be sheep and just go with the flow. Don't be sheep. Don't be sheep. Continue to learn. I'm an old bird and I'm going to continue to learn. Not for me, but for my family. I just became a grandmother for the sixth time. I want them to be healthy. I want them to grow strong. What way to help that is to go back to basics. Modern technology, but we have lost our ability to count our own money, to make a legitimate signature that's uh, free of forgery. We are so worried about making big money, we're not thinking about the little part. Who's doing our excavations? Who's digging holes down for us? Who is transporting our goods and services? Who's keeping our infrastructure together? Who are making our roads and highways? When I say basics, I mean that, just that. Who is actually growing our food? If they don't wear out the farmers, Who's growing our stuff? It's not us. And we need to get back to that. You know, it's a shame when you got a child, and this is any child. If you hand them a $10 bill and said the bill was $5.32 and they can't make change, when you give them a hand wristwatch, but it's digital, they can't tell you what the time is. When they sign their first check, someone else can forge their signature and sign all the rest of their checks because they don't have a unique signature. On top of, I don't know about where you all live, where I live, they're closing schools. They're closing schools and saying, oh, this is because of the budget. Okay, so you close some schools, you overwork the teachers. You overwork the teachers. And what happens? Those students that need that one on one help are falling through the cracks. Another story. I was going to do a different article, a different video on this, but I might touch base on this. Case in point, this year, a rural Texas high school, Texas in high school. Me and you gonna fight, Sky. Now stop it. I love you too. Lay down. Out of the 33 students that was there, out of 33 seniors, not students, students, I'm not sure how many, but 33 seniors from this high school. 5 was ready to graduate. 5. 5. The other 28 did not meet the necessary state requirements to graduate with a high school diploma. Now, given the fact that it's a rural county, chances are this is our farmers. These are our farmers and farmers' children. And right now, the farmers are getting hit hard with inclement weather, and they may have needed their children to be out there helping with the fields. But their children also need a high school diploma to get any type of job nowadays, unless you're working under the table. And therefore you don't get your benefits, health insurance, blah blah blah, 4K, yeah yeah yeah. 5 met their requirements on time. 17 had to work to get there. I'll come to that in a minute. They postponed the graduation for those 5 children, for those 5 seniors who did their job. They went, they got their education. They met their whatever it may be, their state requirements in order to graduate high school. The other 28, because it was 33 total, the other 28, they hadn't. And then they're going to have the ceremony, I guess, in June. Because 17 now have made it where they can graduate. Let me I'm gonna say this. I'm just saying this for myself. I can only say this for myself. This is for educational purposes only, and this is my opinion and my opinion alone. How many of those 17 got passed through? Hearing about 5 students out of 28, well, 5 out of correct, not being able to graduate, and it made national news. I am sure that school district was crapping themselves to from further embarrassment. That's got to be most embarrassing. Your children at your school, Mr. Superintendent. Only 5 was able to make it. Me and Sky gonna have a discussion here. She better quit. Um, that's embarrassing. And the state of Texas ain't gonna let you get away with that. They either laugh at you, or take your accreditation away. And if you're a rural student, if you're a rural school, you don't want your accreditation to be lost, because then your kids really can't graduate. Even if they all make all A's and they do everything they're supposed to, they can't graduate because the diploma don't mean nothing but a piece of paper, which it does now, but worse off. So you got future farmers who can't graduate high school, therefore get any type of funding, anything to help mom and pop on their land. Hopefully, the land is still organic for the most part. Therefore, they're able to grow on that land if it hasn't been marred by heavy metal chemicals and fertilizers. Every time I think about that high school story, it just irritates me. At any rate, we need, and I've been saying, we need to start working towards, or at least teaching, a little bit on how to grow our own food. I can't do the livestock. I'll grow your your vegetables and do the very best I can at that. But yeah, pigs, chickens, I'm doing enough with dogs and cats, okay? And I only have 4 dogs. So I'm only doing good with dogs. Medicinals, all that. You know, I can grow plants. I'll do my best to grow. Use to barter. I have a medical background. That's my skill. May not be perfect, but that's my skill. I can barter time. I can learn holistic medicinal nursing. Go back to when our grandparents and great grandparents were the midwives that came to the house and birthed babies. When they came, and or your shamans came and they used the herbs of the earth to help with minor ailments instead of going and getting these heavy hitters, and then it kills off the immune system to the bacterias that have made themselves resistant to our basic antibiotics, antiseptics. We need to go back to our basics. We need to get more holistic. I'm not saying that modern medicine is the way, but they making money hand over fist on us dying of things that could probably be prevented and or prevented. Our waters are being poisoned, but is it more than eating fake fish, fake seafood? I don't know. You tell me. Check out um, Homestead Heart. They'll show you how to grow something. And from that, you'll go to the other homesteads. Um, We've got the Hollis couple, and they're out of Florida. If you're in Florida and you're looking to grow something, they'll show you how to grow in that Florida dirt. Got folks in Kansas and Oklahoma that can show you how to make containers where they're uh, wickless. So all you got to do is fill them up, and let the roots take over. You don't have to do a whole lot of watering, water conservation. Shout out to Mr. Leon, Growing with Leon. I believe this is channel. These are things that we should learn, even in a little list. I am in a little townhome, but I've got several bushes of collard greens, mustard greens, lettuce out there. I'm growing pole beans, bush beans, and when it gets cooler, I'll throw my broccoli out, and I'll do another round of the greens and the cabbage. Some people say, well, vegetables are the reason why we don't lose weight and we can't regulate our blood sugar and all that. I don't know. They're saying go to a carnivore diet. I don't know. Well, it looks, if you're going for a carnivore diet, you might be eating fake meat unless you're growing it yourself. Stop going to the stores. Get down. You're working me. Sorry. Um, unless you don't have a butcher, you can go to the neighborhood butcher, and we have one. I know of three, maybe four, depending. When you go out to whatever farm, if they got cattle, or even that butcher might be having his own livestock. You go out and you can pick and say, I want a half of a cow. And you can see where your cow is coming. Did you see that it's grown? Sorry. Oh, 3 months. It's like having another baby, except it's a puppy. But again, I say, go out and go to a butcher, not the grocery store for the packaged meats that you see, because who's to say? And then they also treat that meat with something to keep it fresher, looking fresher. Have you ever bought hamburger and it's all nice and pink on the outside and cut right through the bottom and it's dark in the middle because the hamburger's gone bad or it's going bad? It has not yet gone there yet. Why is it pink on the outside and dark on the middle? Someone explain that to me. Like, share, subscribe, leave your questions and your comments below. Do not be rude, hateful, or nasty on my opinion and what I am saying. No one will see it light of day. Back to my story. Willie D brought up a really great situation, which sadly is gone. If we ever eat Cheetos, Cheetos have no nutritional value, and all of it's artificial. There's nothing there. There's nothing nutritional or actual food out of Cheetos, the puffs or the Cheetos. It's a toss up between Doritos. Me and this dog is gonna have it out. Me and you. You messing up my life. But again, you know, we don't know, some of these foods that we're eating. We don't know if it's actual real or not. If it's used real, you know, grains. And now it's the meat, fish, and poultry. Fish, poultry, pork. Now we got to wonder about that. Now we got to wonder if lettuce is real. Are you kidding me? And how we know if you're buying it shredded for your tacos. How do you know? When you go, um, and this is something that I saw on video as well. They was talking about life after people, and they were talking about the animals. Well, wild turkeys um, can fly. Saw one myself. They can't fly up and far away, but if they needed to fly away from a predator, they could get away from it. They could get away from it. Domesticated or generated poultry can't. They rely on us, humans, to feed and take care of them. The domesticated or the genetically engineered turkeys are genetically engineered to have extra long breasts, large breasts, and from those large breasts, they made them top heavy. So even if they had wings, yeah, if they had wings, they couldn't fly. They can't fly because they're top heavy. They keep themselves off the ground. So there you go. That just tells they if you get a company that's organically growing their chickens without antibiotics or um, genetically modified, um, grown the old fashioned way, they might be a little smaller, but they're real and they taste better. They up the price so you can't buy it. That goes with all organic vegetables. Those vegetables that are made on homesteads. Their crops aren't big enough to be considered commercial, and they're too little to be considered commercial, and too big to be considered personal or family. They're big enough to be for farmers markets, and in certain states they are uh, penalizing the local farmer for growing local food for the local people. So let me get off of here. I've got my 30 minutes at the interruptions. Ah, and everything. Like, share, subscribe, leave your comments or your ideas. What else could we do to really help us as a people? Keep in mind that the statement of the elites wanting 500,000 people globally is no exception. It is on one of the monoliths. I want to say Stonehenge, but I'm not quite sure. But it's on one of the monoliths from ages ago. And so, what can we do as a people? Keep in mind, this is not about race. This is not about race. What you're seeing in the news is everything about race of innocent people. We just happen to be the first on the chopping block. It's sad to say, but we are a strong people. It'll take a lot. And we have allies. We are now facing a global situation. It's not about me alone or my people alone. It's all of us. Like I said, if you are not considered a billionaire or a high and a millionaire, you with us. Keep that in mind. Okay, let me go. We got 30 seconds. Like, share, subscribe again. This is Black Swan, and I'm out. Have a great rest of your Memorial Day. Again, to our veterans and our enlisted. I know our enlisted isn't until July with our Independence Day, but still, Memorial's Day is to remember those who have fallen, and I remember those who are fighting, those who have fought, those who have been damaged by our senseless wars. And I thank you all. I thank the families for those who have gave the ultimate sacrifice to protect somebody like me and my babies. Thank you so much to our veterans and our enlisted for your service and your sacrifice. This is Black Swan. I'm out.